All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Nobody who's probably watching. Oh, it's just me. Is anyone watching? Go ahead, light up the chat. Prove me wrong. But that's not why I start these things. I do them for me. So, let's see. I need to go... Whoop. Stop scrolling. There we go. Keep playing our career mode. This is quote-unquote coffee. Alright. So, the plan for today. We left off, we did a couple orbits, we crashed a lot of jets. But, number one, I need new pilots, that's driving me crazy. But number two, I need to get some experience for these guys, Bill and Bob. And I do have a decent amount of science. I could almost unlock one of these coming up soon. Which actually, this one's pretty cool. But, nope, we're going to go for this guy. For a couple of reasons. One, I really like the TT-18 launch stability enhancer. That's one of my favorites. But also, because we get this crew cabin. We're going to use that. We're going to use the doesn't kill Jeb. I'm going to make some changes here. So I'm just going to try and keep in mind where all these things are. Slightly above. Okay, slightly. So we're just going to move these things a little out of the way. We don't need all this fuel. We have a lot of fuel on there. I dump that. Put a crew cabin on. Perfect. Fantastic. Looks like I didn't mess things up too much. Parachute's back on. I did learn this is no good. I fixed that yesterday. Should have saved it. Alright, we're going to line up one of these. Those windows don't do you any good on this plane, do they? One gets a view of the jet engine and one gets a view of the wing, so... Oh well. Things happen. So this could, you know... This could prove to be catastrophic. Just mildly catastrophic. Ooh, I know what I'm missing. Promised myself I'd throw some of these on. I don't know what science I really need for this. Save that. We'll come back to it in a second. Because first, I want to take a look at the missions. One of these is like close. Yeah, that one doesn't give you as much money. This one gives you a lot of money. The Rokia. Ink. Where are those? Yeah, see, that's why these are way out. Absurdly in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to do those. We're going to be doing nothing but live streaming that all night if we do that. So let's focus on these ones. Gleekot's mistake. Gutierrez secret. Site Z00NX. Let's do that mission. Said that was also Rukia. So maybe one I took? Oh. Nope. That's not it. Oh, this is it. Winter Owl. Why was it saying it's Rukia? Okay, well, this might be the one we do here then. It's the, might come back to that. Expires in 5 days. Gives us plenty of time. Can we afford to upgrade this, maybe? Yeah, it's 75,000. Just want it to be at least somewhat smooth. Stand something of a chance. So now, we're going to take Bob and Bill. This is going to have me nervous. I'm going to be ready to hit that parachute button. If we lose this crew, we basically don't have a space program. Up some speed. Okay, smooth takeoff. Let's get altitude quickly. And we're going to already start heading for objectives. What's the nearest objective? Do this one and we can circle around. Now I'm hoping tagging these guys along will get them some experience. I really don't know if it does. This might just be an unnecessary risk. But, you know, sometimes that's how things go. I have significantly less fuel than I do normally on this jet as well, because I just took out that big fuel tank in the center. But I think we should be able to get all these objectives with just the fuel we have. Oh, and I didn't even check pressure readings. I didn't take the press pad. Huh. That's a problem. Can't take pressure readings without a press pad. Started to put it on the jet, and I didn't finish what I was doing because I stopped and put batteries on. So, unnecessary risks are now just going to be multiplied. If this works, I'll probably go back to having fuel on board and just be happy I got Bob and Bill their pilot wings. No, they're not flying, they're just passengers. I don't know if that actually works or not. Okay, so we're gonna have to practice landing anyway. Loosen altitude. This might be a totally pointless flight that kills everyone. That would be very much like our channel to do that, huh? At least in terms of Kerbal. Okay, just a little wide on that. Now, we did already use a significant amount of fuel, so I think we might have learned the lesson of don't do this whole pilot and passenger thing with just the little tanks. Or maybe just don't do it at all, you know? Might learn that. That might be the lesson of today. I just screwed up my approach to the runway. No, maybe I didn't, maybe I didn't. Nose up. Yeah, see, we're way overshooting. So we're just gonna go up, kill the engines, parachute. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is cheating. And that's how I prefer things. I prefer not having dead Kerbals for nothing mission. It's a bit of a hard impact. Okay. See if that got them experience. I just really want to know. Does that give them experience or not? Zero science. Expected that. Got my whole craft back. No XP gain. Oh, Bill got 1 XP. Why did Bob get no XP? Huh. That's strange. Well. Try that again. Let's put a press pad on. So I can actually do the mission. Do I want to... Oh, Bob already had some experience. go back to having liquid fuel on here. Perfect. Reset the parachutes. Okay. This needs to be just a little forward, I think. Yeah, I think it was about there. There we go. We have the long-range version. Neutron, press bat. Got batteries. Okay. I'm okay with this. Once again, we're throwing Jeb into the fire. Rely on Jeb to get us this mission. Waypoint, there we go. We're airborne. Now, once more. It's going to be our target. Just climbing turn. Okay. Oops. Why does I keep dropping off? There we go. And just sit back, relax, let Jeb do the flying. Starting to go quite fast. Closer we. Oh, we're about halfway there. And we gotta go towards land, come back around, and we'll go around for our landing. This one is not going to happen. We're going through that one with an orbit. Yep, doesn't seem to be bothered at all. Hey, keep it above the horizon, buddy. Speed back up. For some reason rudder controls seem to drive the nose down. It's kind of annoying. Oh, there we go. We've entered the zone we want to be in. Okay. There's one. Next site. And the rudder controls in this thing are practically worthless. There we go. Well, at least in flight, this looks fairly easy. But, yeah, definitely it's the landing that's going to concern me. Again, why I'm glad I have those parachutes. Finish my quote-unquote coffee. It looks like 7,500 meters is about our altitude ceiling on this thing. To the KSE way out there. It's our little base back there. And the island airfield is right there. Jeb is our last pilot. We have no pilots in the astronaut complex to hire. So we need him to do this and not mess it up. This is going smooth though. Nearly there. Wow, this is great viewing material with these jets. Not so much. The only saving grace of them is that there is a higher chance compared to anything else that I crash one of these. And I imagine that's what viewers want to see. They want to see crashes. I don't blame them. However, I am going to be as careful as possible. Still not in this. Sonia, and why is it the center of our somehow like our app lapse is like slightly off kilter. Oh, we're entering site Z00NX. Log pressure data. Boom. Second objective complete. So now, last one. Huh. It says deactivate navigation. Guess I've already activated it. Oh yeah, this is driving us way down. Okay. Like going into a stall here. Whatever, we'll lose some altitude instead. Lose some altitude, gain some speed. Let's just be happy with it. Alright, and this last objective should set us up to be lining up with the runway back at KSC. So as we get close to it, I'm going to try and kill our altitude a little bit. Once we get closer. Bleeding out our altitude. Get to our objective. We want to head directly north, and then we'll turn into the KSC. There we go. Bingo, contract complete. Now, as promised, whoop, turn north. Alright. There's our KSC way over there. Just we're gonna wait till it's right off our wingtip. More or less. And we'll start our turn in and lining up for the runway. Well, at least this is becoming somewhat routine. Save for the constant use of parachutes and landing. Ooh, can I get a flying over the mountains crew report? The Highlands. Zoom that out. And let's just see if I can head far enough into the mountains. Really need to start turning now. See. I feel like this should be the mountains. There we go. Okay, now we overshot where we should be doing our turn. We put ourselves in a bad position there. But all in the name of science. I see a marker on an island. What's that? That is the reserve airfield on the islands. I did turn on all the other landing sites as well. So there's one on the island, there's a runway in the desert, and then we have launch sites for rockets at Boomerang and at the desert. A little bit of a nosedive. Now let's see. I did upgrade the runway a little bit. At least it's level 2. Let's see if we can't manage a landing the proper way without killing my final pilot. now we're lined up, I think. Janky aircraft is not helping. I find that making aircraft is harder than making rockets. Certainly flying in atmosphere is harder for me than anything else. Okay. Start slowing down as well. Not a total engine cut, but maybe we should consider it for a second. Considering how much speed we have. It's looking like we're pretty well lined up. Okay. I think we're just a little off the runway here. This might be another parachute abort landing here. Actually pretty good. We're landing just a little fast. Whoop! Well, didn't kill Jeb. That was something. Yeah, I thought that was maybe going a little fast. Well. That is one very alive pilot. That's 3 jets he's crashed, I think, now at this point. And I still don't have any other pilots for hire, so I'm glad he's not gone. Ooh, that one was stressful. Let's see what other missions we have going on. Flight above, 17,500. I'm going to take all the flight above missions. And I'm going to try and do this with a with an orbit. Ah, I like this. This is a satellite launch as well. So, maintain stability for 10 seconds. Have a mystery goo unit on the satellite. Reach designated orbit around Kerbin within reasonable deviation. Build a new unmanned probe as an antenna to generate power. Okay. I'm going to take that one. That actually sounds like it's going to be way more fun right now. I audibly gasped. Yes, that landing was atrocious. But it was a landing. It was a landing. Oh, that's true. Satellite launches I can always reposition the satellite, as you're saying. I would not complain about that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this guy going. Thankfully, I upgraded the launch pad and vehicle assembly building, so I'm not too limited on parts, at least from what I've unlocked. Let's see. I might still be relying on a girder for the structure. One of those might be nice. Since I don't have payloads unlocked. Let's put one of these on. Do the smaller batteries as well. Good. Now, a couple solar panels. Why not just go over the top with it? Alright. And then, for communication, maybe 2 of these. Does that clip into anything? It does. Excellent. Alright, and I do want one of these guys. Well, maybe I'll put that on the rocket at body. And we need the mystery goo. Can't forget that. That's part of the mission. So, where do I want to put this guy? Let's put that right there. I don't really need 2, though. Doesn't even say I really have to use it. It just says have one on there. So what I'm going to do, we're going to put one like so. What do I want to put on the other side? Something to balance it out. Or do I even need to worry about it? How's our center of mass for the satellite? Not bad. Okay. Yep, I'm happy with just the one. And let's do even one better. I don't need 2 of these either. Yes, that looks good. Now I'm going to leave the satellite bus permanently attached. Put that on there. Just like that. That could be our satellite. We'll do... I don't know if I need a trio of tanks. How heavy is the payload? 1.5. Yeah, definitely don't need... Maybe we need one of these. There we go. Swivel. Some of the cheapest fins we have. And some boosters. Boosters with aerodynamics. I should check what the designated orbit is too, huh? Before I just assume that I don't need all that extra fuel. So let's save this. Let's check out in the tracking center what the orbit looks like. Who knows? Maybe they're having me do geosynchronous. What? Ooh, that is a very high. Okay, so I'm glad I checked that. That is a very high apoapse. That is out past Mun, in between Mun and Minmus. Well, the Adventurer still hasn't left Kerbin's sphere of influence either. Okay. So, two things then, looking at that. One, we're going to go with a larger satellite bus. This looks a little more like the Adventurer that I sent out. Two, we're going to go back and we are going to use this third tank. Okay, I think we are go on Sat 1. And that did look like it was equatorial, so I will double check that. I didn't check my staging. And I didn't put a communitron on the rocket itself, so we're just going to quickly recover. The communitron's going to be the important thing here. Don't want to lose contact with the rocket before it even leaves. Going back. Quickly throw one of those on. Better. Didn't check my staging still, so I'm going to do that. Alright, yep. Boosters. Separation from the launch pad. Then separate the boosters. Then run the LVT-35. I'm going to wait to run the LVT-35. I don't want to accelerate this too fast. And this engine does get a lot more efficient at altitude. And we'll separate then the satellite itself. Okay. I'm content with this. Just a quick map check. It isn't exactly equatorial. It is a few degrees off. Just maybe heading up like the 135. Well, I'll try and do the plane change maneuver and just start at the 90 anyway. So straight up for the solids. Why is it leaning like that? That's annoying. And we're in recovery mode already. Okay. I don't know why that wants to do that. Maybe I made it just a little too long. Wow, this isn't going to do what we wanted it to do at all. It's one of my better recoveries, though. Nice. We got James here. Left it. Work early to tune in. I need to not disappoint. Although this guy is very much in the disappointment range here. I don't know what was going on with those solids. Ooh, this is just not steady at all. Okay. I understand. Even with the SAS, this is just not steady. I think I might have just made it too tall. Or this is creating a lot more aerodynamic drag than I realized. Yeah, we're not even like... We're not doing so great. Got high apoaps, but... And that was a mistake as well. The smart thing to do would be to ride that out and let the momentum of the full weight of the craft carry me through. That would have been the smart thing to do. A couple little mistakes on this one. I think I overestimated the strength of the reaction wheels on this. I still don't have maneuver nodes unlocked, so I'm gonna have to just estimate here when we get close. Yeah, and we're way off on inclination. It's a gentle little bit of time warp. I gotta keep in mind I got a lot of speed to catch up, so I need to start working on this early. And since I'm going for a high apoaps anyway, it's not gonna be that much of an efficiency loss, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm making my poor inclination choice worse. I should have been heading this way, I think. Yeah. So, poor sense of direction is making this worse, is what's going on. Now we're getting the inclination we want. Now we want to line this back towards here. See, that's hurting me some more. I need to go back more this way. No, I don't. Alright, screw it. I'm making that change after the fact. About there. I don't think I have enough fuel to circulate. No, definitely don't have enough fuel to circularize that. Okay, well, this is just going to be a junk satellite. I feel like we could have done a lot more. At least this is a lesser failure compared to a lot of previous probes. So what I can do, try to force this to just have an encounter at some point and smash into the mud. So if I get this about halfway to the mud, I know the mud is going to keep going around, but what I can do is, I think that's what I want to do. Try and get a sense of which way I'm really facing. And this tiny itty bitty bit of fuel. Just horrible. So that almost puts it on the same plane as the Mun. It'll just be many orbits before it interacts with it, probably. So we're going to go back to the drawing board. I don't have the ability to revert, so we have to go back to the Space Center. And who knows? Maybe that satellite will give us some science someday. Recover our launch tower, and... Oh, okay. Time to figure out what I did wrong with this sucker. Don't have any more command control that I can throw at this. Any more reaction wheels. So we need to worry about keeping this steady, which means probably firing this while I'm firing the boosters. Also, we could probably use larger stabilizers. Fix the staging now instead. Let's see. There we go. There we go. This needs to go down here. And okay. I think I could have done it if I was just a little more careful. Let's give it a shot. Going for the satellite contract. Once again. Getting a little bit of a lean, but it seems to be correcting itself. Okay. Now, I know this is going to be somewhat unstable. So I'm just going to very carefully aim us over. Set a new target course. Okay. Much smoother. And that's our target orbit way out there. And that's the failure we just had. And I'm driving it the wrong way again, aren't I? How do I keep doing that? That's just horrible. Well, let's straighten it out. Unnecessary inclination changes. Again, should have kept the booster on. Oh, okay. That's a runaway scroll wheel there. Yeah, I don't think this just has enough oomph to do this. Yeah, it's just not going to have the oomph to do this at all. So I need to come up with something with a little more power. We're going to get a bunch of these lunar intercept satellites, though, by accident. Oh, and we're out of comms range. That was real smart. Didn't deploy our antenna. Now I can't deploy the antenna because we're out of range to tell it to deploy the antenna. Real smart. Okay. Whoa! Didn't mean to do that. Time warped a little too far, and we did have an encounter with the Mun. And if I had not been silly about this, I could have had communication range to actually tell it to take some science. This is turning quite silly. There we go. Signal range. Deploy the antenna. At least it's almost signal range. It's telling me it's weak signal range. Now we got some good signal. Give it a second. We're just going to give up and do a grade burn, at least have a satellite somewhere out there. Oh. Oh, that's that's significantly more than I thought I was going to get out of that little bit of fuel. What is this game about? This is basically a space program simulator. This is currently career mode, so trying to make money and get science. And hopefully not kill many Kerbals. Well, this little guy is pretty useless to me now. Just gonna leave the antenna somewhat pointed-ish near Kerbin. I give up on that. Okay. Back to Space Center. So, radically different design is required. What else do we have down here? Oh. There's the reaction wheels I wanted. Or do I save up? I'll get something else here. These would be good satellite parts. Oh, there's our 2-man and 3-man capsules there. That's cool. So I should probably get this. These extra tanks are what I really need, though. Yeah, let's just keep working up the tree. Let's just keep working as we go. Each row. Let's see if we got any new contracts while I've been effing around. 2 tourists. They want orbit. They want suborbital flight and orbit, orbit, and suborbit. That's don't think I'm ready for that one right now. There is another satellite position, geosynchronous orbit. Oh, this tells you the inclination. I could have just not been a turd. Geosynchronous orbit should be doable. Oh, here's an important one. This might be what I need to do to get my pilot. Is it fun? Yes, definitely this game's fun. It's one I've been playing for a long time. So let's see. This rescue Debdorf Kerman. Okay. I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna take this other satellite mission because I love satellite missions, even though I'm obviously bad at them. We got another Explorer Kerbin. I wonder if I'll get credit for parking two vessels near each other if I'm rescuing the other Kerbal. It should be a rendezvous. Taking it. Alright, I only take one more contract. These are flight below, so there'll be more jet flying. I'm not really in the mood for more jet flying. This one, they want us to knock a guy out from G-forces. That's a very bad idea. Alright, now. Now. Let's, this could probably be geostationary already. This could probably do geostationary orbit. But I think I'm more excited to try and get another Kerman, since I killed one of our only two pilots. So we're going to run a new launch vehicle here. Now I could take someone up on a two-man module, but I'm not a big fan of that module, so instead what I'm going to do is control this from a probe core. Make sure I leave that seat empty. Yep. Good. Now we'll need to make sure we get this Kerbal back safely, so a heat shield for re-entry, and we're gonna need, let's see. We're gonna be needing to do a decent amount of plane change maneuvers here in order to rendezvous. So I'm gonna put this guy on there with this engine, which is pretty efficient in space. I'm gonna worry about, I'm not sure what altitude we're gonna be coming from, so I'm gonna put a drogue to help slow that down, put a main parachute on top. Throw some batteries in. Okay. Come on, solar panel on it. Well, yeah, it should do fine. No, it won't. It'll fall off. Somehow I just know it'll fall off. I could put another inline reaction wheel on this. This does have it in there. I'm not sure if I'll be able to really use it. But I'm going to assume. To say when you assume, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now we're going to do similar to the satellite launcher we just had. I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. So it's not quite as long. Let me see. Cost versus surface area. And this has control surface. It scares me actually a little bit. It could wobble itself to death trying to control it. So I'm just going to stick with these. Now the point of stabilizers on a rocket, if you have your center of air resistance, so whatever's hitting here, above your center of mass, what's going to happen is it's going to shove the rocket over. But if you put fins on, you're actually catching the air at the back, and you have your center of aerodynamic resistance at the back of your center of mass. And things don't get quite so out of control. So throw on the boosters. Whoop, that's lopsided. That's better. Dynamic cones for those. Oop. That's better. Now this time, I'm going to put the inline communication on the service module. I don't know if I'll need a high gain antenna, but I'll do the better safe than sorry approach. Okay. Some launch towers. Keep it sturdy. Okay. Oops. Turn this the way I want it. That just seems like a bad idea aerodynamically. Does it have physics? I feel like this is going to just screw me over. It's very light. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put maybe 2 of them in, so I know it's balanced. We'll do some rotation. I don't want to accidentally jam the heat shield, so there we go. Some spotlights so it's a little easier to see the ship as we get up to it. Anything else we need? I think that's it. So for staging, separate and launch, separate those. Engine there, here, bingo. Separate the drogue from the main parachute. Alright, rescue mission. Okay, there's the moving parts satellite orbit. Where? Ah, here's our trapped Kerman. And it seems to be an equatorial orbit. Fantastic. So this should be fairly doable. We got an empty command module to go and rescue this Kerman. So first, the solid rocket boosters. Let's get us maximum thrust to weight ratio up through the lower parts of the atmosphere where the air is thicker and gravity is stronger. up to altitude with the liquid engines are more efficient. Gravity turn. So we're starting to convert some of our thrust to vertical velocity. Get our apoaps up. Just into space. So the approach I'm going to have to take from this, I'm going to have to try and go for a situation of letting the other module catch up to me. So I'm going to actually need to go a little higher than its orbit. Once we get in space, I'll deploy the high gain antennas just to play it safe. There we go, 70,000 meters. Get us close to apoaps, the height of our orbit. Or in this case, our suborbital path. And I'm still going to be looking at about 600, 700 meters per second delta V. I got to try and make up here. And this fuel's not going to be enough, so it's going to have to rely somewhat on the next stage. And then we start seeing orbital mechanics at work. Now we're going to start our burn. Yeah, that's what I figured. So the majority of our fuel is gone. We're down to just our tiny little engine here. And away we go. Now that's going to raise the opposite side of our orbit. That's one thing in orbital mechanics is when you're dealing with prograde or retrograde maneuvers, so in the direction of your orbit or directly in the opposite. You're going to be impacting the opposite point on your orbit. So high apoaps, low para-aps. So this is fine, but I do want to raise this a little more so this catches up with us a little faster. I don't have a ton of fuel to try and do that though. There goes our booster back to the planet. So because we're taking a higher path, we do slow down every time we get there. And the other capsule will keep approaching us. And I just realized I don't have... This is going to be interesting. Don't have the ability to set this as my target. This is where maneuver nodes typically come in. don't think I can plan this maneuver without maneuver nodes. I am slowly losing electric charge as well. This could be interesting. Trying to do a rendezvous without maneuver nodes. Real quick. Let's see if I can update the tracking station. If I have the money to do it, I'm just going to pull the trigger and do it. Damn, I'm not supposed to click on it. Hold on. Yes, I have the funds to do it. So we're going to do it now. Oop. It was not my intent to do that this stream. But I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, and before we go back to that, we're going to quickly go here. On escape trajectory out of the sun. What the hell? We're going to fly our adventurer probe from last night. Over the course of all these different things we've done. It is finally in interplanetary space. Boom. Atmospheric pressure scan in a space high above the sun. So we're going to send that science back. Free science. Temperature scan. Do the same. Boom. Adventurer 1. The tiny satellite that just keeps giving. Give you a little bit of a turn so you get more solar rays there. You did good. You did good, you little satellite. Anyway, that was not the focus of that moment. We're going to do a rendezvous maneuver. Lots of things going on all at once. Alright, so way back here where we are... God, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Lots of different tracking stations picking up satellites. Pick these up. These are our launch towers. Okay. Now this is our craft. Now we can do maneuver nodes. Now we can plan this out. So we're going to go back to map now with this as our main. Now we can set this as our target. And now we start getting what we need. We need positions that intersect. So what I'm going to do is, because our para-apses are very close, I'm going to set a retrograde maneuver to bring our apoapse down. Again, if I'm doing a burn here in retrograde, it's going to lower the altitude of the opposite side of the orbit. And I'm going to see what that does to our intersects. And as you can see, I move our intersects here. Separation is just, yeah, a lot of meters. I want to get, yeah. Now this looks pretty good. I think I like that a little more. These are very close. Separation 1.9 kilometers. Still not great, mind you. The answer might actually be a prograde maneuver and burn off some speed here. Slow our orbit down. 1.7. 3.3, so we need less than that. 5.7. I think 1.7 is the best we can manage at that point. 1.6. Much delta V? 165.7 meters a second. We can start calculating delta V again. So our payload bus. I'm gonna do some math. Can we figure out the weight of our vehicle from here? I wonder. Probably not, huh? Way too easy. I could make a clone of it in the bay, but I mean this should be roughly 2.5 tons. I'm gonna honestly guess it, because I don't know any way to check unless we can check it in the tracking station. Tracking station might be able to tell us. Untitled spacecraft. Aha! Yep, there we go. 2.55 total mass. So 2.55 tons. Okay. Now that's not going to tell me. There's a couple things I'm going to have to check in the center, but that's okay. So what we have is 31.17 units of liquid fuel. Okay. Now we need is fuel consumption per second, and we need the mass of the fuel itself and the thrust of the engine. So once more, Space Center. Trying to get all this done before our maneuver would come into play. So what we need to know let's just look at it this way. So overall, for 90 units of fuel is a mass of 1 ton. So you've got 90 liquid oxygen and 110 oxidizer for 1 ton total. We're only going to look at the fuel consumption rate of the liquid fuel because they're going to be at equal rates. So for a mass of 1 ton, 90 units, that means each unit let me see, each unit is 0.9 tons. Oops. that right? Is that math right? 90 units divided by 1 ton. I don't know. I'm going to go with it. Fuel mass of stage... No, that's not right, because it would be 1 ton. Just do it all in one. Divided by 90 times 31.17. There we go. There's my answer. Let's just do it smart. Fuel consumption... Fuel consumption here, and engine ISP. Thrust and vacuum is 60. And that's at a consumption rate of 1.596. So we have 493.8 delta V. $498. Is that what I said? 493.8. So 493 delta V. Everyone's missing out on the science fun. All right. So once more. Now we're coming up on our maneuver. Our maneuver is 165.7 meters per second. So that should leave us... That still leaves us about 330, almost, delta V to work with after this. So when we come up on our maneuver node, we're going to have to go for it. So we're going to do just a little bit of a time warp. Nice and gentle. And it's telling us the burn time for this is going to be 6 seconds. So in order to get this as accurate as possible, we're going to aim at the target for the target change in velocity, which is going to be marked out by the blue icon here on the nav ball. And we're going to start our burn 3 seconds from the maneuver node. So 3 seconds is applied before and 3 seconds after the delta V change that we want. Less than a minute to maneuver node. Now. So now we're gonna aim. Use our battery on SAS. Electric charge has been slowly depleting while we did all that madness. We'll get some of it back from the engine, I believe. This does generate some electric charge, I think. Don't quote me on that. And at 3 seconds, maneuver node T-minus 3, we're going to hit full thrust. This is actually high pressure. Boom. Now we got just a little bit of correction. But we're going to do that with another maneuver instead. Yeah, see, we get just a little off. So now at apoapse, I'm going to add a maneuver. And now I'm going to try and fine-tune our intercept. Yeah, see, that's going to throw us off just a little bit. Yeah, it's not going to work for us. Doing that maneuver there is not going to work. So we're going to try and do that much earlier to do a correction. 2.5, I'll take it. It's only 1.4 meters a second of delta V. This is just going to be a quick tap. It's going to be less than a second of burn. Yep, went too far. Another correction burn. Really don't like how much I'm having to use the SAS here. So it is using our battery. So once more. It's a very small burn. Okay, we'll be 2.1 meters apart when we do this maneuver. That's pretty good. So at 2 kilometers apart, we're going to try and equalize our orbit with the other craft. So you can see it's catching up to us rather fast. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. We're going to put our maneuver node right at the intersect. And I'm not going to apply any force anyway. It's still at 0.0 meters a second. And I'm going to just use that as a timing marker, so I know when I need to do my burn. Because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to burn relative to the target. We are killing our battery here. So we really need to make this happen. This is what we want right here. So if I'm right, which I might not be in this case. Because we need to burn retrograde to target. So now see, this is going to fall into prograde, right? Let's give it a second. Just see what happens. Oh, this did switch to target. Okay, well, could have done that before. That would have been nice. So now, prograde and retrograde is relative to target, not relative to orbit. So in order to line us up with the target, we're going to aim this way and at exactly our maneuver node when we're only 2 kilometers apart. That's the way we're going to burn. as I just watch our battery power drain. This just hurts my soul. So now our speed relative to target is going far down, 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 down. So we have very little movement to target. Now our orbits are very similar. And we should be slowly getting closer. Yeah. Cool. Very cool, very cool. Now, we are gaining speed once more. So once again, I'm just going to... Now we're prograde to target again. As I put our next intersect. 2.8. See if I can see our target. Like no fuel left either, so this is like, it's gonna be a rescue mission that's just gonna strand the person in space again. Nope, it just makes it worse again. Where the hell is the bastard? I don't even see it. We are ahead of it, okay. Okay, now we slowly get closer. Okay. I'll take it. Hey, we just got credit for the rendezvous mission. So at least we got the contract from that. Now we're gonna get further apart again. So we need to do one more burn. Yeah, I think I hosed this one. No. Orbital mechanics can get funky. I'm about to run out of fuel too. Yeah, we're not gonna make it to him. Well, that sucks. This craft is now going to need to just die. So we're going to deorbit it best we can. Which, not at all. Okay. Okie doke. This Paraps does drop into the atmosphere, so it will slowly burn up and get destroyed. And we are going to get a new craft to try this one more time. This was craziness. I really want to get this this Kerbin though. Name of the dud, so I know. That was very close. We got very close to being able to do what we wanted to do. Just make sure we aren't missing anything neat. Tourists again. Tourist. Tourist. Yeah, not missing anything too exciting. We did get some funds for the rendezvous. That's good. Makes up for paying for the tracking station. Okay, things to do different on this guy. We are going to find a place for a solar panel. So I can stop stressing about that. And we do need slightly more fuel. Oops. Alright. Bingo, bongo, boom, 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 boom. Alright. Whew. Let's try it again. Rescue operation number 2. Gravity turn. Trying not to be overly aggressive with it. Very tight, low orbit, so we can squeeze in under this and play catch up. Now we have significantly more fuel. We can also plan things out a little better. Good. Nice, tight orbit. about there. There's a lot of delta V change and more than we have fuel for on this section of the booster, but that should be fine since we have a stage to separate. This time I'll give myself 20 seconds to do this maneuver. We got a lot of speed to make up. The rest of the Delta V with the efficient engine. Bingo. Very tight low orbit. It's exactly what we wanted. More comfortably catch up to this other capsule. You can see this one's, the dud is losing altitude actually on each pass. It's just glancing the atmosphere and coming back out. So it'll slowly decay over many orbits. We're going to set this as our target. I'm going to watch these, see if these get a little closer. And then once we get really close, then I'll plan out the intersect a little better than last time. 2 kilometers was really pushing it. There we go. The dud's dipping into the atmosphere again, and it's back out. It's just gonna slowly lose its ability to stay in orbit. Okay, our intersect now. 458. I'm just going to see. Should definitely be getting closer on each orbit. Yep, definitely. I'm really fascinated at how many orbits the dud has just managed. Yep, it's back in the atmosphere again and back out. That is amazing, actually. Just gonna pause this for a second and point the solar panel at the sun. Gets our electric charge back. Getting even closer. So after this pass, it should get to the point where we overtake our target on the following orbit. So what we're going to do is halfway through the orbit from the opposite point, we're going to go and reline those up. Oh, I stand corrected, okay. So that already gets us really close. We already get, just from our orbit we have now, we get within 13 kilometers. So from the opposite point in the orbit, be as close as we can. It's going to be 12.9. That's fine. We'll do that. Again, speed up time to the maneuver node. 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3, 2. Yeah, we're in much better position this time on fuel. I only need to adjust this by 1.1 meter a second. Can I thrust limit this? I can. Hello, thrust limiter. So I'm just going to turn on the thrust limiter a little bit, make it easier to do a fine-tune adjustment like this. Very cool. Now somewhere between these two intercepts, I'm going to do with this intercept actually. We're going to try and line up the next intercept. Ooh. Let's not do that. Runaway maneuver node. See, what this is telling me to do doesn't make a ton of sense. So what I'm actually going to do, start doing what I think is right here. We're going to move this maneuver node. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now we're talking. Now we're going to throw off our separation slightly. But that's okay. Don't need it perfect on this orbit. I just need it to make up the difference here. This is a pain in the butt right now. It's been a very long time since I did this. Okay, now, again, our orbit is lower. So we're gonna, once again, we're gonna raise our orbit. Wow. Orbit, please, thank you. Raise our orbit. So we want our apoaps and paraapps to be lined up with this thing. Ooh, look at that intersect. That's good. Now I'm going to start going towards the target. Nope. Retrograde the target then. That's why I don't trust these nodes. On a very similar apoapsis. Now once again we'll get very close. Now I'm more worried about this maneuver node. So my paraapps is much lower. So I'm going to raise my paraapps again. We're going to go again. Just a little higher. Now we should just ever so slightly be on the inside track of this. So I am kind of slowly outsmarting this. So because our apoapps and our paraapps are ever so slightly lower, we should progressively catch up. Yeah. 6.2 turns into a 3.1 intersect. So as we go around one more time, wow, and the dud just is not deorbiting like I thought it would. Are we going to overtake it? Ooh, this might be the moment. So we're almost about to overtake it. Now we're going to start seeing these go further away. So now is when I'm going to raise apoapps one more time. Now we're going to pay attention to the nodes. This one should be getting very close. Yes, this one's getting very, very close. 0.9. So 900 meters. That's how close that one gets. It's been a very long time since I've done this. So now once more I'm going to prepare for a prograde maneuver. Raise us just that other slight bit above this. So we don't get in front of it again. Let's intersect, slowly change. Target position at intersect. It's 3 kilometers. This is like where we're going to be closest. So we just need to now start seeing, can we even see the target? That'd be cool if we could see him. Oh, we can see him! Where is he relative to us? Should be down that way. I always forget on this target deal if this is... He should be out of our... Oh yeah, he should be outside of our... So this should be heading towards him. So now, I need to refresh my memory on orbital mechanics and start reading books on orbital mechanics again. So cancel our movement to target. So now I got 0 movement to target. So now, to take that node out, our next intercept should be at 1.3. Cool. Now, aim towards the target. That's down to 1.1. 1.9. 0.8. 0.7. 0.6. 0.5. 0.4. 0.3. 0.2. So we're going to get within basically 200 meters. And then we're going to cancel our movement to target, and we're going to start another one of those burns. I should be able to see it. I don't know why I don't see it. Okay, 0 meters a second to target. It should be that way. It should be that way and very close. But I do not see him. Oh! Yes, I do! There he is, right there! God! So now we just need to cancel our movement to target once we get to him. Sure we don't bump into him. Or burn his craft. Alright. Your taxi has arrived, sir. But y'all didn't know Uber had space capsules. So there's Debdorf Kerman. Oh, she's an engineer. She's not even a pilot. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? All this excitement. I thought I'm getting a... Alright, that's fine. We're rescuing somebody. That's all that matters. Space Uber. Alright, get in. Well, that was an adventure. Now to deorbit. Wait, we're gonna plan this out. We're gonna plan out our deorbit now that we've actually... Oh, actually, this is about when I want to do it anyway. The one time I'm thinking ahead. Now we're gonna just crank our thrust limiter back. Now that we're done doing all those maneuvers. We need to decay our orbit faster than that, so... I can see the KSP from here. Oh, and we're gonna be going like right over it too. That sucks. More descent burn. Try and go for a very aggressive re-entry. We're back in the atmosphere. This is going to be a very aggressive re-entry. But we have a drogue and a parachute for a small capsule. I think we're going to be fine. I hope. And there's the Kerbal Space Center right there. Right down there. I want to land as close as possible to it. Don't really know why I care. It's not like this capsule's worth that much money, that recovery costs are going to be that much less. Because that's the thing. When you land a craft, the closer you land it to the Space Center, the more recovery costs you get. So the more like value of what you recover you get back. Oh, this is just about to start hitting the atmosphere. Like the heavy parts of the atmosphere. Where re-entry happens. We're just going over the KSC, Kerbal Space Center at KSC, right now, as we hit the burn. So I need to learn how to target that easier from orbit. Yeah, landing it at the Space Center would be really cool. This is already going to be fairly close. Like, we're going to be in the water, in the ocean, at least in front of it. We're going to be pretty close to the island airfield, which is right here, actually. And we got a free Kerman. Okay, now, we're already at a low altitude. So, drogue first. Drogue slows us down enough to make it safe to deploy our main parachute. So the drogue slows us down less, but is more durable. So it's like a parachute for the parachute. Alright, and now we are pretty much home free, it looks like. Time warp a little bit. So in Kerbal time, that was a 4-hour mission to go up and rescue somebody from orbit. It's pretty good. From, hey, we got a problem, to rescued in 4 hours. Yep, and Island Airfield's right there. So, probably the closest I've ever come to targeting something, except when I did make a space shuttle. That I actually landed on the runway once. But for a capsule, this was quite good. Just a few more meters. Oddly, our orbital speed is still what's calling out. That freaked me out for a second. Now, the other thing I want to see with this Kerman is, can we take surface samples from the water? No, apparently that's silly. But, I tried. Ooh, I was really hoping we just got a free pilot. Instead, we have a free engineer. And, okay, an engineer that's already level 1. So our most experienced engineer now. Nice. Astronaut hangar. Yes! Yes! Seemingly to award my my willingness to go and save a Kerbal. We've got 2 more pilots in the lineup that I can hire. Next hire is 79,500. So I've got Newstead and Dunson. Dunson looks like the better pilot, though he is dumber. He can handle 5.9 Gs before he passes out. And 5.8 for Newstead. I think I'm going to hire Dunson first, and then I'm going to see how much it costs to hire Newstead. 93. You know what? I'm going to hire them both. More pilots. More pilots, more fun. Okay. I feel good. I feel good now. We've got 3 pilots, 2 scientists, 2 engineers. We're gonna need more scientists later. Ooh. Billy Bobney. Full courage bar, almost an empty stupid bar. Part science return 100%, vessel science return 100%. This doesn't really seem to boost things too much. There's Gussel, about the same. That's really cool though. I kind of want a Kerman, but I'm not going to spend more funds. I just spent a lot of funds on Kerman. Oop. There we go. Cover our lunch stuff. I want to see if we can still catch the deorbit of the dud. It's about to enter the atmosphere again. The craft that was meant to save our new Kerbal knot. This thing actually still has a little bit of battery left in it somehow. Yep, there it is. It's back on suborbit. It's just been slowly scooting through the atmosphere. Do a crew report flying over? No, that's right, because there's no one in there. What happens if I separate? I really want to see this deorbit before I call it a night. What is catching atmosphere right now? Yeah, its apoapsis is falling into the atmosphere. That was perfect timing. I just caught it on the orbit where it finally decayed enough that it's not going to be able to make it all the way around again. And it's got still a little bit of battery left on it. I might be able to deploy the parachute and actually save this capsule. Reuse it. But I'm losing that battery fast. Signal strength is poor as well. Oh, yeah. I just fell out of range of all the tracking stations. So unless I get to another tracking station in range. I should be coming up on the desert airfield, though, I would think. Yep, there it is. Connection. Drogue deploy. I like that extra element of needing to have signal strength to actually control your drones. I'll be a son of a gun. We're actually going to get to recover this sucker. Yeah, I'll take the free funds, that's for sure. Wonder how many funds I'll actually get out of recovering this. Probably not a ton, but I mean it'll be better than not recovering it at all. Let's see. As the electric charge is just running out too. There we go. Recover it. I'll take it. Let's see what do we get for funds. We got, wow, 1,217 funds back out of that. Not bad. Not bad at all. This might be another one we have to do. Tomorrow night might be kind of a repeat of the same. It seems there's another Kerbin who's stranded in orbit. So it's tempting. I don't necessarily need the Kerman now that I've got a full crew. But I do get a good amount of funds for doing it. I do get a good cash advance. And I do get a lot of prestige for doing it. I'm gonna take the offer. Oh, while I was there, I should be checking my active. So out of my active, I got 2 satellite missions. I still didn't do the high altitude crew report. I bet I could have just done that, recovering that Kerman too, if I'd been paying attention. This is going to be another one of the same. So I've got 2 that are going to be like that for tomorrow. And I've got 2 satellites to try and position. I need to figure out how I do these. We need, check if they're the same for requirements. We need an antenna that can generate, and it needs to be able to generate power, so we need solar panels. So we need an antenna, solar panels, This one needs geosynchronous. This one's just a high orbit. This one needs a thermometer. And this one needs a mystery goo canister on. These are good money. And prestige, actually. And then, of course, we got another rescue mission. So I might just quickly design a craft, but not launch anything. As I wind down the stream here. It's been a good one. No one died. Which is, you know, my entire standards now. I agree. I think this was a pretty epic run. We're starting to take real missions. I did finally, after very much rustiness, manage to rescue a stranded crewman. James, I'm not sure if you caught the Jeb landing at the beginning. But that'll be one to check back on YouTube later. Because the original Jeb landing for today, my God. So I think